I'm finally giving myself permission to learn how to draw, and I'd love to have you join me. Hey beautiful blooms! I really debated with myself whether I was going to make this video at all. After all, I'm not an artist yet, and social media is overflowing with so many incredible people with years of experience. So when we're surrounded by all those beautiful works of art, why would anyone want to watch a beginner stumble their way through? And am I really passionate about art if I'm using my sketches for video content? Isn't that selling out? At least that's what my imposter syndrome, or my bad brain as my friends call it, likes to tell me. Yet, learning art challenges have always been popular, but especially are now. With the rise of generative AI, the art community is rebelling with all of their heart and soul, reminding people that art is attainable for everyone. There's no gatekeepers, no age cap, no limits at all. You just need some patience and some paper. It's a reminder that art is communal. It's meant to be shared regardless of where you are in your journey. And everyone is an artist, which is a message that I personally really needed to hear. But the challenge montages never clicked for me. You don't get a sense of how long each drawing session really was, and most people, especially me right now, just don't have the time to draw every single day. It's not good for your hands either. As a friend lovingly reminded me, we gain muscle memory through rest too, and we use our hands more than we think from day to day. So I'm not doing either of those things. Instead, I've set a timer for an hour once a week. What I get done in that hour is what gets done. And each video will cover that single drawing session with some chatting. Maybe this idea is better suited for live streaming, but that just isn't in the cards for me right now, so you get this instead. Granted, that's also some big talk coming from me. I honestly couldn't have picked a worse time to start doing this, I think. I'm currently in the middle of applying for jobs and apartment hunting, which, yeah. If you're also dealing with either of those things, then you know just how awful those markets are right now. So things are turbulent at home, and I'm combating all sorts of anxiety. And on top of all of that, I didn't originally start this channel with art in mind. I currently have 4 other videos that are about building houses in video games, Final Fantasy XIV specifically, which I love making those videos, don't get me wrong, but they're intensive enough to make that I've only managed once a month so far. So jumping into a once-a-week project may not have been my brightest idea, and those build videos will probably have to pause for now. But I like the accountability that comes with making art videos. And I'm finding that sitting down to focus on a sketch with minimal distractions has been really relaxing. It's keeping me grounded despite the current chaos, and I really need that right now. Maybe someone else watching this will feel seen hearing that too. And besides that, I've got a lot of time on my hands waiting between each batch of resume submissions, so why not? Oh, that's my reference, by the way. I have it up on my monitor so you can't see it otherwise. You're also gonna see my hand leave the paper a lot, and that's because I'm trying to use a technique I saw in Stephen Travers's tutorial video. I hope I said that correctly. He prints out a picture of what he wants to draw and then thumbnails the general line angles to get a handle of perspective for the piece. It's one of the first pieces of art advice that has actually clicked for me. So if you've been having trouble grasping perspective, then I recommend giving that video a watch. Unfortunately though, I don't have a printer, and so I can't do that the same way. So my hand is waving in front of the monitor like a crazy person just to get a feel for how the angles are. Anyway, that still begs the question, why now? Why am I teaching myself art in my early 30s? Well, the answer to that is both really simple and really complicated. Straightforward, I know, right? But the simple part is, I've always wanted to draw. I remember watching Aladdin one day, and kid me pointed at the TV and said, "I want to do that. I want to make the moving pictures." And to my family's credit, they did try to foster that creativity. They bought me sketchbooks, and even an oil set I was absolutely terrified of using because I knew if I made a mess, I wouldn't hear the end of it. But I think there were a couple of other obstacles that kept me from going all in as a kid. The first was the way I learned didn't mesh with all the teaching methods at the time. I'm a 90s baby, and back then, YouTube didn't exist. The internet was fledgling and just beginning to find its wings. So if you wanted to learn how to draw, you were at the mercy of whichever art teachers you got in school and how to draw books. And I had one specific teacher that outright crushed my will to learn art around the age of 11, I want to say. The other big obstacle was, as a kid, I don't think I had the capacity to recognize what it was I really wanted to draw. Character art has always been the most popular form of art, and for good reason. We gravitate to characters and people that speak to us, and even use that art to help us express who we really want to be. I mean, hello, hi, I'm a VTuber. I 100% understand that. But because of that, most people assumed if you wanted to draw, you wanted to draw people or characters. So that's the learning material I got. And I became so fed up as a kid because here I am wanting to draw, yet couldn't explain why I wasn't at all interested in what I was being shown how to draw. But what I've come to understand from trying again as an adult is I don't actually want to draw people. At least not right now, which is hysterical to me because I write as a hobby and I'm an intensely character-driven writer. I love emotive writing and exploring a character's head and emotional state to the point it's a double-edged sword, and stuff like plot and setting are a big weakness for me. Yet, with drawing, I'm really drawn towards scenery, which makes sense to me now looking back. As a kid, one of my favorite things to do was play Animal Crossing or The Sims, and I would spend countless hours in both games decorating houses and would often ignore everything else about the games. For Animal Crossing, I even had a special yellow notepad where I copied down cheat codes for a whole bunch of furniture just so I could try them all. And it's that love of interior decorating that made me want to try drawing scenery for the first time. Because in the midst of all the current turbulence in my life, I had a realization. I truly love environmental storytelling and designing houses. But up until now, I've been locked to doing so only through video games. But those video games won't exist forever, or there may be a day I can't afford them. And thinking that I could lose something that brings me so much joy because of those things was a sucker punch to the gut, let me tell you. Or hell, some days I want to design, but I don't want to be glued to my computer. Yet, if I can learn to draw, then I can always design houses, so long as I have some paper and a pencil. And I'm only limited by my imagination, and my skill at the time. Whereas with games, I have to make do with what someone else has made for me to play with. What I'm getting at is art is freedom. Freedom, joy, and strength. Which leads me to my final reason why I'm taking the plunge now. I've been so incredibly lucky to have made friends with several talented artists. Over the years, I've watched them all grow. I've watched them battle their insecurities and build each other up. I've watched them stick to it over the years, despite life constantly throwing curveballs their way, as it always does. And every single one of them has become a stronger, more beautiful person with every finished piece. Because being creative, regardless of its art, writing, music, or whatever it is you like to do, being creative means embracing failure. It means embracing all the things that makes you imperfect and realizing those imperfections are beautiful, which is something AI will never be able to replicate or take away, I might add. My best friend in particular, and I know she's going to flail when I say this, but I have to do it. She said something that stuck with me when I first brought up making this video with her. Keep in mind, I'm paraphrasing a bit right now, but she said, when you draw, it's like giving a gift to your past self. You're doing something they always wanted to do, but couldn't at the time. And my inner child was stifled in many ways that I never truly understood until recent years. So by pursuing art now, in my 30s, I'm finally giving back to that little girl who pointed at Aladdin and said, I want to make those moving pictures. So that's why I'm here now, with a jank recording setup while waiting for interviews. I can't guarantee I'll stick to my goal once a week with how much life is changing for me right now. I'm sure I'll miss some weeks here and there, but I intend to do my best. Just like my friends, I want to look back on this video from a year from now and say, wow, look how far I've come. Or more realistically, oh my god, that's so cringe. Please stop giving it likes. I got better. Look at my new stuff. So if this video has resonated with you in any way, I'd like you to join me. Grab yourself some paper. Set aside an hour, half an hour, 10 minutes even, if that's all you can afford. And set that timer once a week at a moment that's most comfortable for you. And just draw whatever it is you've been wanting to draw, or write, or pick up that instrument, knit, whatever it is you've been denying yourself from trying. Now's your time to pick it up. And when the next video is uploaded, I want you to share in the comments how your own creative journey is going. So subscribing will be the easiest way to make sure you don't miss the next one. And if I end up not making a video one week, I'll write a community post instead, like this one, so you can still comment about your progress. Let's make this our year and build ourselves up together, one sketch at a time. Thanks for watching. Until next time. See you then.